Well, Cyclone Alfred gets closer to Australia's east coast. There are unique risks for older Australians and people with disabilities. The forecast flash flooding and strong winds may affect deliveries of food or medical supplies for people who can't leave home or people be separated from their usual carers. Susanne Jones is the Managing Director for the Brisbane North branch of Just Better Care, an in-home nursing provider. Now, Susanne, can you tell us what have the past 24 to 48 hours been like for you and how Just Better Care has been affected?
Well, thank you for having me. It's always a challenge to balance our duty of care to our customers while also protecting the safety of our frontline workers. And so our office teams have been working almost 24/7 now to contact all consumers and their families to ensure that risk management plans are in place for our customers in the event that they're affected by Cyclone Alfred.
What are your concerns right now for those who need the care that you provide?
Look, I feel very positive about how we've worked through those plans and put contingency planning in place for all of our consumers. Our customers and their families have been amazing. You know, communities are aware of what's coming. It's a historical event that hasn't happened in Brisbane for over 50 years. So I feel very confident that we've got everything in place and have empowered our customers and their families as well to have emergency numbers at hand. We are constantly in contact. Luckily, most are on using technology advisors now, so we have been able to maintain that continuity of care, even though we may not be with them face to face.
What are the unique risks for vulnerable people in situations such as this, when a cyclone is approaching, something that doesn't happen too often in this part of the world?
For sure. Look, everybody's situation and needs is different. We had to make a call on non-essential services and suspending them up until a time where it's safe again for our support workers to go out and provide those services. But we're going to have to remember things like a person living with a disability, for example, who's requiring a hoist. We need to make sure that the hoists are charged, that we have to have something in place such as generators in the event of a power cut. We have people that are on oxygen. So we're talking about potential life-threatening situations in their own homes. So we have to work with families, friends, and emergency services to provide that continuity for them.
And what advice do you have for those preparing to look after the vulnerable during this challenging time?
Look, I think my observation over the last 48 to 72 hours has been that communities have been amazing. Everybody is rallying. So what I would say to people is, if you are living next to a person who is an older Australian or somebody who is living with a disability, or even some younger person who is living alone or isolated, just check in with them, ask them the question whether they're okay, and assist where you can if needed.
And I imagine it's in the aftermath of the cyclone that can be one of the most challenging times, if not the most challenging, with possible rains and floods to deal with.
So part of our processes are to develop very early in the piece, when we engage with customers, to do emergency plans and flood maps for them as well, so that we understand what the potential risks are, and we are very aware of the locations of our support staff as well, so that we can make informed choices around their safety too.
And for you personally, how have you been preparing your own home ahead of this cyclone that's expected to make landfall over the weekend?
Well, it's interesting. I've been reflecting over the last few hours. I feel like that's the time that I had to really, for it to let it sink in what's actually going on. I've lived in far north Queensland for a number of years, and even though I'm in Brisbane now, I live on acreage and more just outside Brisbane, and I feel that there is a certain level of apprehension to get your own property prepared and get yourself and your family emotionally prepared as well of what is to come.
Well, Susanne Jones, thanks so much for your time and talking to us, and we wish you the best of luck and stay safe.
Thank you. You too.